Hello, hello. I hope I'm live. I am live. Hi. Just give it a few seconds for more people to join. I have lots to tell because it's been a very productive week. Well, I think so. For me, it has. So yeah, I can't continue my tradition of wearing all my whips because I would literally pass out. That's how hot it is today. Hi, Lena. So I will start with the one that I didn't dare put on top of this, and we'll see how we go. So if you remember last week, oh, by the way, welcome to my weekly PPP, that's Progress, Plans and Problems, on the world of Zanete Knits. I am Jeanette and I am doing most of the knitting in my house. So yeah, last week I showed you this cardigan that is currently in testing with a trumpet sleeve called the Toura cardigan. It's a top-down seamless design with a tie front. And I had a lot of the body left last week, so since then I found a really cool Netflix show that kept me awake while I was going through the body, and that means I managed to complete, I can't really show that really well, but yes, there's a lot more body and the body is complete now. All I have to do is, oh no, lost the needle. I have to finish this little tie and then create another one on the other side, weave in the ends, and I can wear it next week as a finished object. But yeah, I ran out of the TV show. It was Drive to Survive, Formula 1, Season 5. I don't really care much for the sport, but it's filmed in such a way that keeps you really engaged throughout, and there was no chance of like dozing off, and that was perfect for the big stockinette section that I had to do. So if you're looking for, if you haven't already seen and you're looking for a Netflix show for stockinette, I highly recommend Drive to Survive. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know anything about Formula 1, don't really care about it much, but it was just a good show for knitting. Another thing that is my currently work in progress is the thing that I am wearing. Sorry, knitting needle on the floor. Is this Song of the Moon sweater. So last week I was about to separate sleeves and I had a long journey this weekend, which meant that I could just strap the kids in their car seats and sit back and knit while they were screaming, but that's a different story. So yeah, thankfully I had my knitting with me and I could escape into the color work while they were unhappy and bored. I don't know if that makes me a good or a bad mom. I don't care. I've done a lot of knitting and I'm happy about that. So yeah, I also posted a question to my followers asking whether I should continue color work in the body. And it was pretty much 50-50, yes or no. So I decided to add an optional color work. So those who do not want to do more color work could continue with just the plain main color all the way down to hem. Those who love color work, like myself, can do another section of the similar pattern that's here. So yeah, that's what's happened. I've separated the sleeves and started the second section of color work. So I've still got to finish this color work and do the sleeves. And then I will, as I said last week, I will check if I like the color and if I find a nice way to do the ribbing in a similar look for cuffs and hem, because, well, these ones are decreases and I won't be able to replicate the same without increases on the cuffs, because those gotta stay even, straight. So yeah, that's gonna be my mental challenge for next week. And then a test call is hopefully gonna be going out middle of May. I think I'm on track for that. Still to be determined. Now I will remove this slowly to reveal my finished object. That was finished last week, but it was blocking, so I couldn't wear it. It would have not been nice. And it is the Wildcat sweater. It's another top-down round yoke sweater that is currently in testing. Thank you so much for everybody who made the test group. And we will be releasing the pattern at the end of June. It is a fingering weight and it is all over color work, and the color work is not as intuitive or easy to remember as a more traditional motif would be, so you're kind of stuck with the chart throughout most of the way. But I, for one, think it looks really cool. It doesn't look like a hand knit, personally, which is good or bad, I don't know, depends on your attitude. But yeah, I love this sweater. I made my sleeves a little longer because I love how they cover part of my hands and just feels a bit more cozy, and I got really long arms anyway. What is interesting about this sweater is that most of the increases for the yoke are actually done in the neckband. So I don't know if you can see, but there is decreases and increases because it's double. This is a double neckband, so it's worked to its double height and then folded and joined, and then you just have a few more increases in the chart, and the rest is, yeah, straight. I think it's been a while since I worked on the yoke, like 16 months, so forgive me if I'm misremembering something, but I just recently reviewed the chart, and I'm pretty sure that there's like 6 increases per repeat in the yoke. So it's all pretty, as long as you're happy looking at a chart and working away, this is a very simple pattern. There's nothing crazy going on. So yeah, that's my finished object, officially, the one that I can show. And apart from the 2 whips that we just saw earlier, I gave in to peer pressure and cast on another project. And that cast on was a pair of, or is a pair of toe-up socks, and I'm using the yarn that we picked up at the Unravel Festival. So there used to be 5 mini skeins and now there are 5 mini cakes, and yeah, I'm loving how these colors are playing. So I've got the toe and part of the instep already complete, and I wanted to experiment with, well, for the longest time I have been trying to figure out how I could integrate wrong side of color work into some design, because I love how it looks. Like, who wouldn't? I just took the sweater off and, okay, not the ends, but I wouldn't mind wearing this. This is awesome. This looks really cool, and it's the wrong side. And yeah, and I've seen some commercial sweaters where every once in a while you'll see a section where the color work is actually the wrong side, or you can see floats. So this is my first attempt at trying that out, and to make the knitting simpler, because I don't want to figure out how to knit or purl color work and do the floats on the right side. So every once in a while I just turn it inside out and work it from the wrong side. So that's how yeah, I can keep working normal color work, but end up with the float part on the right side. Yeah, I think it will drastically change how it looks once I've completed this darker section with the gold contrast color, because that's adding so much drama to the sock, and I can't wait to finish it. So this is another one of those, just one more round, because yeah, it's just I'm using 5 colors, and it's always fun to see how they all work out in a knitting project. Yeah, I think I'll have to do a special video for how to combine colors so that they work well, and that the requirement is that 4 of them, that there's like 2 dark ones and 2 lighter ones, and that you could interchange any of the darker one would go with any of the lighter ones, and that would ensure like a successful color combination. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's another creative outlet for anybody who loves combining colors. This project would be that. And me and my friends will be well, I am already, I have started making this from the Knitting Shed's Ainsworth and Prynne classic sock mini skein sets that we bought at Unravel. But I suppose any leftover sock yarn is a good candidate for this project. And yeah, I started last night, and I completed this bit during a meeting, no, not a meeting, during a time I was totally supposed to do something else, and I feel guilty about it, but then I look at the sock and I don't feel guilty anymore. So it's amazing what knitting can do. I think, oh yeah, one more thing that I was nervous about last week, and that was in my plans for last week, and that was the photo shoot of the Amor de Verano t-shirt, which is coming out middle of May. So we had the shoot on Thursday, and I really want to say hats down to all the models in the world, because that was mighty uncomfortable for me. I felt really self-conscious, didn't know what to do with my hands or my face, and I had a really patient photographer trying to guide me through it. But yeah, it's definitely a skill, and I appreciate a lot more all the models who have helped. And also, I just realized that in my test calls, I always ask test knitters to provide a photo of the test knit or the finished object on body, because I love to show how the design looks on various body types in different sizes on Ravelry, and that can help other people decide whether that design is for them or not. But then I just realized that with every single test knitter who has answered my request has had to stand in front of camera and gone through the same feelings that I did. So yeah, really big thank you for doing that. I appreciate. I mean, if that's something that you really love doing and you're comfortable, amazing. I just want people to know that I am not one of them, and I appreciate that if you're not one of them. I feel you, but please keep doing that, because your photos are, oh my goodness, stunning. The yoke meditation series that we released last week, those have been some of the most inspiring and sensational sweaters and photos that I've seen. So yeah, keep doing the amazing work. And with that, I guess I will see you next week, where I will update you on what's been happening since today. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good week.